In the pride of your heart you say, I am a God. I sit on the throne of a God. But you are a mere mortal and not a God. Though you think you are a wise God. That's a reading from Ezekiel chapter 28. In the pride of your heart, you say you're God. In the pride of your heart, you enthrone yourself. I enthrone myself and marginalize God. But we really are mere mortals. God is God. And thank God, God is God and we're not. The God of you, the God of me, is the most relentless God or idol of them all. It is the battle of the flesh and the spirit. All other gods pale in comparison to the God of me. It's about me versus God with a capital G. It's about enthroning ourselves and dethroning God, marginalizing him, putting him off to the side. Oh no, we don't turn our backs on God. Because after all, we're Christians. We don't completely turn our backs on God. But for many of us, we have, at Christmas time, we put him back in the box. Our nativity scenes, and we just put them back in the box and put them on a shelf. For many of us, after Easter, we're busy just doing the spring things and the summer things of our lives. We marginalize God very often. We don't need him so much. We do call upon him when we're in trouble. You know, we think he's a magic genie God. But otherwise, we do just fine, thank you very much, on our own ways. However, the truth of the gospel, the truth of our faith, is that the most powerful earthly and worldly God with a small g is myself. Me, myself, and I. All the various forms of modern idols and gods have at their core the self. We've been talking about gods over the weeks, and it comes down to we are at the center of our lives. 21st century America, we no longer bow down to idols and images, except maybe some folks, I think, who may still believe in the gods of nature and all that. But basically, 21st century America does not bow down to the images that people did in Old Testament times, in ancient times, and in the New Testament times. No, we worship at the temple of the God of self. And within that temple, in 21st century America, in your life and my life, we worship at the altar of self-fulfillment. That's a big psychological watchword here in the 21st century. And it is one of the most dangerous and most deceptive idols of them all, because it involves many other gods. And that's why I said we're in the temple of fulfillment, and within that temple there are many gods. And so the act of what the definition of self-fulfillment really is, I looked it up in the dictionaries and all over the place, and it was very interesting. The act of fulfilling one's own ambitions, desires, hopes, dreams through one's own efforts. It is about the ability to make yourself happy and complete through your own efforts. Wow. When you look at that definition, and this is what we are being fed day in and day out. Whether we realize it or not, this is what we are being told. This is what is being sold to us. This is what we hear on the TV. This is what we hear in movies, that self-fulfillment is about us. And it is about our hopes and dreams being fulfilled by our own efforts. And so it is easy to be duped by Satan. It's easy to be duped by this world and by the philosophy of this world, that it's about me, myself, and I. Everywhere we turn, self-fulfillment is being peddled. And the gods that rear their ugly head are things like the insatiable desire for more. Materialism. Short and sweet. Materialism. Our insatiable desire for more. We want the newest and the best thing. People stand in line in New York City and all over the place. They stand in line to get that first new cell phone version, that new iPod, that new computer. New and better and best. We have an insatiable desire for more. Then there is the God of pride and ego and self-esteem. Again, it's still within self-fulfillment. That's the God, but we have the little gods underneath that. And so pride and ego and self-esteem. We want recognition for our successes. We want recognition for our skills on the soccer field. We want recognition for our great work in the workplace. We want recognition. And in this world, we even say, everybody gets an A. Everybody is successful on the soccer field. Everybody. And so we want that recognition. We want those awards and rewards. And we have become driven to climb the corporate ladder. We've been driven to climb for that better job with the better pay so that we can feel better about ourselves and buy more things so that we can have more prestige or power or recognition or admiration. Most destructively, we worship at the altar of self-indulgence. Alcohol, drugs, spending our money wildly, and shopping. I know women, not men, they don't shop as much, but women who just continually shop. That's their God, because there's an emptiness that isn't filled. And so self-indulgence is about taking care of the self, making the self happy and complete to the exclusion of all others and their needs and their desires. And so when that happens, self-indulgence, we are sacrificing our relationships. We are sacrificing our families. We are sacrificing our marriages. We are sacrificing our friends. We are sacrificing our relationship with God because we are bowing at the altar of self-indulgence. And guess what happens? The God of self-control creeps in. And then self-control is put aside. And so we seek pleasure, we self-indulge in alcohol and drugs and food and spending and in Twitter and texting and Facebook. And then of course it's the games on the computer. Self-fulfillment stretches all the way back to the Garden of Eden. Because remember, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden wanted the self-fulfillment, and the snake told Eve, you're not going to die if you eat of that one tree that God says not to eat at. And what happened? We all know the ending of the story. That was the tree that they were not to touch because they wanted to be like God. You see, self-indulgence, we really do want to take God's place. We think we know a better way. We think we can be more successful without God. We think we can achieve. And so it stretches all the way back to Adam and Eve. It's in humanity's desire to be God, to enthrone self and dethrone God. From 1 John, these are the ways of the world, wanting to please our sinful selves, wanting the sinful things we see, and being too proud of what we have. None of these come from the Father, but they all come from the world. 1 John chapter 2. What the world offers us, what Satan offers us and taunts us with, is not of God. You will never be fulfilled. The first lie in humanity's life has haunted us ever since. And we will never find happiness or fulfillment focusing on ourselves. When we trust God, when we go on a journey of faith, when we know God as the one who can guide us, direct us, give us the wisdom, our hopes and dreams will come together with what He wants for our lives. Love the Lord your God with all